Hey guitar lovers, you know that jazz sound when comping, something that sounds like this? That jazzy sound that we know is really simple and attainable, and in this lesson I'll show you the four steps of shell voicings, and I really think we can get there pretty quickly. Let me show you the steps and how to get into it. So here we can watch my fretboard. And first of all, shell voicings are simply 1, 3, and 7. So if I'm starting on the 5th string, I'll play C, E, and B. That gives me C major 7, 1, 3, and 7 without the 5, which isn't that necessary. It's only a coloring note. And then I'll do C7, then C minor 7, and C minor 6. Okay, these are shell voicings. They're very minimal, but they pack a lot of punch. You can really play whole songs with them. And once your shell voicing needs to have its root on the 6th string, you do something pretty cool and interesting. You switch the 3 and 7. You play C on the 6th string, and then you do the 7 on the 4th string, and then you do the 3 here, and you get C major 7, C7, C minor 7, and C minor 6. Now, you might ask, why am I doing 1, 3, 7 from the 5th string and 1, 7, 3 from the 6th string? It gives us wonderful continuity in the 3s and 7s when you're playing progressions, because sometimes, for example, All Things You Are, if I'll play it, by allowing the 3 and 7 to trade places, I get much better voice leading with these two notes. Here they are, F minor 7. So if I'll only play the 3s and 7s, look how close everything is. This is a great thing. It's a great melodic vessel as well. Okay, so it's really a valuable thing to have the 3 and the 7 switch places. So the first level of playing shell voicings is really playing only 1, 3, and 7. Let's practice on the standard, and I'll show you something quickly. This is from Stella by Starlight. There's only one catch. When you're playing half diminished from the 5th string, you can't play a shell voicing because you have to put the 5 very far away. The solution is simply to play a drop 2 E half diminished. Okay, that's the only non-shell voicing that we'll use. So if we're playing it still with only 3 notes, this is how Stella by Starlight would sound. And this is the first thing I'd practice. It's basically just like you learned bar chords and you moved around. It's the same idea, but with shell voicing. So that would sound like this. This is the first level of it. Okay, remember, all you're doing is playing 1, 3, and 7, like this or like this, and moving through the chords. It's really helpful to play, for example, real book songs or anything like that. Just find the next closest chord, and you won't have to think about it that much, because if I have E minor 7 here, and my next chord is A7, it's fairly intuitive that I don't want to go all the way up the neck to here if I can go close to here. And then you'll get all these nice connections in your upper strings. Okay? So that's the first level. Practice it a lot. Get the shapes. then play songs with only 1, 3, and 7. The next level is adding tensions, and this is kind of fun. Note that if I play, for example, C major 7, you can always add a note above the triad notes C, E, and D. It's going to sound stable, surprising but stable. For example, above the root C, I can add D, which is called the 9. It's going to sound good. But if I go a half step above the triad C, E, or G, I'll get dissonance. This is half a step above C. This is half a step above E, F, and this is half a step above G, A flat. Okay, so what we do is we extend chords by adding stuff a whole step above each of the notes. Then you get these cool colors, the 9, the sharp 11, I'll do it this way, and the 13. And these notes are really stable. You can play them all together, get this rich texture, but it still works. So that means that you can always add coloring notes a whole step above the triad. Even if you're on C minor, for example, same principle. So if you have C minor, which is as a triad C, E flat, and G, a step above C is D. We call this the 9 because it's like 9 is like the second note of the scale plus 7 because you raise it by an octave, or the 11, which is F, which is really the fourth note of the scale, or the 13, which is the sixth note of the scale, in this case A. So in that sense, you can add these three tensions to each chord. Just figure out what's a whole step above your triad, and you'll get some kind of 9 or 11 or 13. The exception is the dominants, which can have, in addition to that, they're more dissonant, they need to be dissonant, so you can actually add a half step above the 1, flat 9. In addition, a step and a half above the 1, which is sharp 9. And you can have a half step above the 5, which is flat 13. Get all these cooler sounds. Okay, and combine them, of course, to get these fat chords. Okay, so now that we have a color palette, we can move beyond our shell voicing. The next step is adding a tension on the second string. So remember, I have a root on string 5 or string 6. I have 3, 7 on strings 4 and 3. Or I have 3 and 7, either 3 and 7 or 7 and 3. Now I'm adding a note on the second string. Listen to this line first. This is Tell by Starlight again. Just 8 bars. That's the 13. And you may be asking, how do I know what tensions to choose? I know essentially that major 7s accept 9, sharp 11, 13. 7s accept 9, sharp 11, 13, and the flat 9, sharp 9, and flat 13. Minor 7 accepts 9, 11, and 13. And half diminished accepts 9, 11, and flat 13. All this is not something you need to memorize. Just go a whole step above your triad. So what I do when I play such a song, first of all, for the half diminished, I need to hack this chord because the shell voicings don't work for half diminished chords. My general answer to what tensions to add is a combination of what's available, meaning what can I play, plus what is close by, because our ear doesn't like to perceive huge leaps in general. Like, you don't want to hear this. Right? That doesn't sound very continuous because the top note is sounding like a melody. So that's why I choose what I can and what is close. Let me tell you what I'm choosing in real time. You'll see that it connects melodically. So I'll get a line that doesn't move that much on the second string, like this. So this, I'm starting with having the third of E minor half diminished. 13, flat 13, C 11, F7 flat 9, F minor 7 9, B flat 13, flat 13, E flat major 7 with a 9, and A flat 13. Okay? Another fun thing to do is when you don't have your dominants, which are the chords that allow flat 9 and sharp 9, you can totally change the major 7 to the 6. Sounds mellow and cool. That means your second level of jazz harmony is adding 9s, 11, and 13s on the second string and connecting them in an intelligent way, meaning use something that's close by. Okay, that helps a lot because it'll give you good insights into playing melodies as well. Okay, so I'll do this one more time. Here's that 6/9, which is kind of mellow and cool. Okay, that is the second level. You have shell voicings, you have a single note on the second string. Now, the next level is adding a note on the first string. This is really hard technically. I have a lot of students which struggle sometimes with getting the sound. That's why I recommend arpeggiating it. This means adding to our 4-note texture another note on the top string. Okay, and all these chords are really combinations of usually 9s and 13s. And look at the following structure. If I have shell voicing on the 6th string, this is C major 7. Typically, on the 2nd string, I will have reach for the 13s and the 11. And typically on when the chord is in the root is in the 6th string, I'll have reach for the 9 on the 1st string. So when I'm on root 6, my 9s are on the top string and my 13s and 11s are the 2nd string. Like this. 9. And when I'm playing on the root 5 here, then it's flipped around. My 9s are on the 2nd string, and my 13s are on the top string, and my 11s. So basically, you have one string usually where you can reach your 9s, and one string where you can reach your 13s and 11s. So here's a solution with arpeggios. Flat 13. This is sharp 9 and 13. Adding a nice color here by going to the flat 9. And on my C minor 7, I'll add the 5 and the 9, and here's a nice combo, flat 9, natural 13. Now I'll play 9, 13, going to the 5, and on the B flat, I'll play flat 9, flat 13. This is E flat 6, 9, and A flat. And that's how you get these richer colors. Right? It's sweet. Okay? And now let me show you the final level of such a workout, and that would be removing your root. So we have a shell voicing, which is 3 notes. Then we added a tension on the 2nd string, and then we added a tension on the 1st string to get all these big chords. Now we'll do it and remove the root, and this is going to sound familiar to anybody who's listened to jazz because this is really jazz comping. It sounds something like this. And the only thing that separates where you are and a more professional jazz player, not that I'm trying to give myself any accolades, is that there's also a melodic connection. So it's a bit like soloing very simply and sparsely because it's kind of lines. Small melodies. Okay, so that's a stepping stone into jazz harmony. Let me summarize the key points. Step 1 in the 4-step journey to jazz harmony: learn shell voicings in roots 5 and root 6. Step 2, add the tensions, which are a whole step above the triad notes. For example, if I have C major 7, find the 9, find the 11, sharp 11, 13. Do the same for chords from the 6th string. Play the shell voicing and then play the tensions, for example, 13, flat 13, 9. And learn to play a song with 4 notes like this, where you're connecting your tensions. Okay, you're thinking, what am I allowed to do? And then what's close by. Next step, add a 2nd string. Final step, remove the root. Okay, so I hope this helped you. Feel free to ask me questions about it, and I hope you enjoy your newly found harmony. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.